Alright, hey guys, today I'll be teaching you guys how to make a simple Hello World program using, C++ programming. If you've seen the previous tutorial, you should already have Microsoft Visual C++ 2010 Express Edition installed and ready. If you do not, I suggest you watch that tutorial, that way you can keep up with us. You also don't have to use Microsoft Visual. You can use, you can use a different software that allows you to program in C++. But in this tutorial and in this series I'll be making, we'll be using C++ mostly, maybe a little bit of C number, I'm not sure, but we'll see. So go ahead and open your Visual C++ 2010 Express, and you'll come up with a window that looks like this, a window looks like this. And so as you can see, we have new project and open project on the side here. You click new project and you want to make sure console application is selected, CLR console application, and you're going to go ahead and name that Hello World, and you're going to click OK. Now my software is a little bit different because I have done something different to mine, but after you click OK, you should come up with a different window, and it should give you two options or three, I think, but you're only going to focus on OK and finish, and I just want you to click finish, and then you'll come to a screen like that looks like this, but the code, or the code will be a little bit different. But all I want you to pay attention to is the include stdafx.h. You can go ahead and delete everything else on that except for the included library. So as you can see, this is our header here. In our header, we just include stuff we'll be using globally in our program, and these are sort of like the declarations that we use in programming. You can call them the declarations of programming. So in our header, we're going to be including another library, and that's going to be called the IOStream. And the IOStream is another library containing commands and functions we're going to be using in our program. And we're going to be using something else called using namespace, std with a semicolon, and I'll explain what this does a little bit later, and I'll show you what you have to do without this if you did not include using namespace std in your header. So yeah, and the semicolon is just to end this command here. So in C++ we use semicolons to end commands most of the time. It's used differently in different situations. As we go through our programming, you will notice that, but I'll get into more of that when we go into it. So now we're going to start our int main function, and this is basically telling everything that this is where we're going to start programming. And to tell where the programming is, we're going to use open and curly brackets. This in between these is where all the code is going to go for now. So to start off making our Hello World program, we want to use something called cout, and cout is a library contained in IOStream. No, sorry, not a library, but it's a command contained in IOStream, and basically it's saying that it can type out something to the console application, since we'll be using one. And what this is, these two what are these, greater than symbols in this case? Yeah. These are searching operators. Searching operators basically search for something we want to type out, since we're using the cout command. So we want to use two quotations after that, and in our quotations will be our hello world. So far we have, I want to type something, and that something is hello world. So to end this, we want to use another searching operator with the endl or endline command, and this is basically saying that I want to end this line and go down one. And the semicolon, as I said before, just ends this line of code and saying we don't want to execute anything else outside of this line of code. So this is how we make a hello world type out on our console application so far, but don't stop this tutorial yet, because there's a few things we need to include, and one of them is system with two parentheses and quotations, pause with a semicolon. So what this says is basically I want the system to stop and wait for me to terminate it. So that's what system pause does. does. System pause says, or does, the command that I want the system to pause and wait before I terminate this program. And if you did not include system pause, sometimes you might have the console application or whatever else you're programming in close before you're even ready after like a half a second. So this is useful if we want to wait and look over our code and make sure everything executed correctly. And one more thing we're going to be using is return 0. And what this does is basically tells the program that I don't want to return anything when this program executes. So we don't have anything argumenting anything in our code. So like, let's say we said return 1. Oops, sorry. Return 1. Then we tell this that I want the program to return a 1 after it executes. So in this case, since it's such a simple program, we just want to return 0 to keep everything simple and less complicated. Sorry, I'm stuttering my words today. But yeah, we want to keep it simple and less complicated, and that way we won't end up with any errors or something like that. So to check and make sure everything here is okay, we want to debug, which is at the top here, or you can press F7, which is what we're going to do next, which is build solution. And what build solution does is it checks the program down here, as you can see, and we are checking to make sure that everything was okay. And as you can see, we have build 1 succeeded, 0 failed. So everything was okay, we succeeded everything, and it's fine. So now to run our console application, we have to debug and go to start debugging, or we can press F5. And that's going to open up our console application. Sorry, let me move it over a little bit. That's going to open up our console application, as you can see. And as you can see here, we have hello world, and it went down one line, and we have press any key to terminate or continue. So let me show you what this looks like while you're looking at the console application, so you get a better idea of what we're doing here. So we have our cout hello world, and that's where our hello world comes in. And then we have our end L or inline command, and that stops this line and goes down 1. And then we have system pause. So as you can see, this console application is still up because our system is pausing and waiting for us to terminate. And return 0 just means that we don't want to return anything to check if anything is wrong, or just in case we're using a different function that needs like a return 1 or 2 or whatever. So we're returning 0 and everything's fine and dandy. So now you can go ahead and close that by pressing any key to continue. And I'm going to show you right quick what using namespace std looks like when it's not included in the header. So well, you don't have to do this, but if you took out using namespace std in your program or did not have it, you would have to do something like this. You'd have to type out std with 2 colons before cout and endl. Sorry. And this is basically where our using namespace std comes in. So because if we did not include it in the header, we'd have to type out every single time std : std : in front of our command, and that's just wasting time, because sometimes you will need to program maybe 1,000 lines of code like in an hour or whatever. So what we have here is std : std : and now if we use using namespace std, we do not have to use std : anymore, and our code is still fine and dandy. I suggest you to never just use std : by itself, and always use the namespace std to save time and make your code look more professional. So this is pretty much it for our hello world. We've done everything I will cover in this tutorial. I might make a part 2 explaining something else I wanted to get into, just in case you were wondering what this is. I won't explain it right now, but I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and message me or leave a comment, and I'll be happy to answer. I hope I did pretty good in this tutorial, so I will see you guys later.